Hey, this is Anna. Thanks for tuning into the Grapecast. I have Tony and Jim here, and today we are reviewing the Bell's Two-Hearted Ale, which is an IPA, and then also the Lagunitas Maximus. So we have the Bell's Two-Hearted on our menu now at Grapes and Gallery. You can check us out at grapesandgallery.com. From our website, you can sign up for classes. We do teach painting classes as well. And then our Facebook is facebook.com/grapesandgallery. So we're going to start with the Bell's Two-Hearted Ale. I got this in a can today because, of course, I forgot to bring my bottle of beer home. So I had to run up to the store and grab another. But I think it has the same design as the bottle. Do either of you have the bottle?
I do.
Yeah.
Same design.
Yep. So what is the deal with that design? We talk about beers having personality just by looking at the labels and stuff. And it's a fish, a bass, a something. Anybody know?
That Two-Hearted is the river in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, they're from Michigan, so.
All right. So just poured this one. It is definitely an orangey color with a white head on it. So a little more orangey than I'm used to with an IPA. What do you guys think? Jim, have you had this before?
I have had it before, and it's kind of your gold standard as far as IPAs. Everybody kind of this is actually a really good step into the IPA world. It's got a really great color, really great smell. And it's not too bitter. People think of IPAs being bitter, but this is definitely an IPA that is not. So it may appeal to people who don't actually like IPAs but may want to try one.
Tony, are you getting like murkiness in the color of yours?
It's a little cloudy, but kind of in a good way, I guess. I think it looks really nice.
Okay. Yeah, I was. The reason I was asking is I saw someone post a review about theirs, and they had theirs in a can like me, and unfortunately it was an older can, and some of the stuff had kind of fallen out of it as far as taste and flavors. So just making sure I got the right thing. I like the way it smells, floral.
Yeah, it's got a kind of good little citrus nose to it. Nothing too overpowering.
Yeah, so it's made with Centennial hops. Am I right on that? That's this one.
Mm-hmm.
The one specific Northwestern Centennial hops. I was reading something earlier about hops, and one of the things that I found interesting was they talk about how some people use the IBUs, like the bitter units. They classify all hops as what moves the bitter units, and they don't really talk about how each hop has its own flavor. So that's something to definitely consider. And the Cascade is the biggest one. It has the most of the aromas and that sort of thing. And then they call the Centennial the Super Cascade. Some people do. So this is the Centennial, and it definitely has all of the big flavors on it. Some people like to compare it to marijuana as far as the smells and that sort of thing, because it is from the same strain. Also, like fresh thyme is another flavor that they throw out to compare it to. Are we ready to drink it, or have y'all beat me to it?
I've been sipping.
Sipping? I'm getting a lot of citrus on the first sip.
Oh yeah, it's very pleasing. I like it.
I had it in the from the bottle the other day, and not out of a glass, and it's definitely different.
Mm.
I got more bitter from just out of the bottle than being able to smell it in the glass.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit bitter from this. Not much though. I mean, not as much as you would think from a decent IPA, but
yeah, it's not too fizzy in the mouth. It's pretty balanced to me. It's not too malty. I'm always concerned about malt lately. I've learned that I don't like malt forward things, Jim. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to say a prayer for us, but we're struggling with malt forward, especially IPAs. So I like the balance of this one for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely balanced.
Anybody have anything else to say about it?
It's got its beer, but it is a little malty, so it's great. I mean, it's really balanced.
I can taste the alcohol in it for sure. I mean, I could tell I couldn't have very much of those.
I don't know. For me, it's kind of easy to drink, which could be bad news. I don't really taste too much alcohol.
Yeah, that's bad news. Yeah, so for the Bells, we have their Oberon right now, which is their summer seasonal wheat beer, and then once a year they do what's called the Hop Slam. So we were lucky to get some of that last year. Hopefully we'll do that. Jim, when does that come out? Is that like springtime or no?
It is usually springtime, usually March-ish.
Okay.
They have a big to-do party at their brewery for it, and it's a really big thing. So usually everybody knows when it comes out. Everybody looks for it.
Awesome. So yeah, we've been impressed with their stuff. So we're glad to add this to the menu. But we wanted to pair it up against something or contrast it to something that you can find out in the stores pretty easily. And then also stuff that's been floating around a lot more. It's the Lagunitas Maximus. Are y'all ready to move on to that one?
Yes.
And yeah. we can let our glasses now leave some of that Bell's out so that it can warm some. We can taste it again when we get done with this one. Let's see what flavors come up. All right, Jim, have you been using your flashcards and working on your sister-owned server?
Yep, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. But to quote someone, knowledge is painful. So. Yeah, this one compared. I don't know if y'all can see that pretty well. This is the Bell's, pretty murky, and then this is the Lagunitas Maximus. It's not as orange in color, and then it's not as, I keep saying murky, but it's clear. Let me say something that's more positive than murky. It sounds awful.
It's definitely a little bit darker, so there's maybe a little more malty to it. There's a little. The head retention is just a little bit better, not too much. So you can tell it's going to be a little piney, usually a little more oily, resiny.
Yeah, I can tell by the smell that it's going to be malty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can smell the malt.
I guess we should say more malty and not as balanced as we would prefer. And that's something else that I've been thinking about, and y'all can help me process this thought process. Is that people, especially people in the South, they are more drawn to sweeter things, the sweet teas, the cakes, the pies, whatnot. So when they're looking for a beer, or when they're looking for wine even, they look for the sweetest thing they can find. What's your sweetest red? What's your sweetest white? And they all, if I give them a Stiegl Radler, which is a grapefruit beer that tastes like an orange soda, they love it instantly, and they don't like beer at all. So, I mean, do you have the same opinion, or could that be the same thing said to as far as IPAs, adding the more malts and the making it sugary, that sort of thing, to appeal to more of a broader palate?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's the way it is. I mean, but it also depends on, you can have tons of malts and then tons of hops, which kind of balance out, and it really just makes it more alcohol. So it kind of depends on, if you're talking malt forward, a lot of the roastier ones typically don't have a lot more hops, so they'll be a little bit sweeter. But it just depends on the IPA. I mean, it's everything nowadays. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I think this would definitely probably appeal to somebody who would like a sweeter thing and maybe wanted to try an IPA.
I agree.
Because I don't think it's very bitter. It's just it is very malt forward, though, definitely.
Yeah, I get a lot of sweet in the middle. What about you, Tony? Is it tolerable?
It's not that bad. It's not as malty as I was afraid it would be. I mean, it's a little sweeter, but part of me kind of thinks the blander the beer, the more appealing it might be to more people. Because people are coming off of like Bud Light and Natty Light and all that other crap, and so I mean, malt forward, that's not going to be there in like a Budweiser. It just kind of tastes like fizzy water. And so I don't know if too much malt might put someone off as opposed to just something more balanced.
Yeah, I agree. And this one definitely has. It's definitely different than the Bells, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It seems a little easier. I don't know. I'm not fond of malt again. Let's see what they have. On Beer Advocate, the Bros give Bell's Two Hearted a 90, which is pretty good. It's outstanding, actually, is what it says. And then they also give the Lagunitas Maximus 85, which is still very good. So there's a lot of ratings out there for both of these beers. Jim, what about you? Do you have a preference as far as one over the other? If you had to order one off a menu right now?
Probably the Two Hearted. I mean, after the Maximus warms up, you can actually start to taste the alcohol a little bit. I've had mine out for a few minutes, and it's really kind of boozy. Not really my favorite. Definitely the Bell's is much preferable over this. So it's just a little bit lighter and just kind of. I mean, I like the tropical citrus kind of notes to it. So
yeah, I agree with you. I went back to the Bell's. It's a little bit warmer, and I don't get the boozy feeling like I do with the Lagunitas Maximus. Tony, what about you as far as your pick?
I prefer the Bell's, but after having the Maximus, I think it just kind of screwed up my palate because the Bell's just doesn't taste the same. And I got some salt and some sugar to try to, get things back to normal. And after a little bit of salt, that kind of fixed things a little. But yeah, I think if I were ordering one just from the get-go, it'd be the Bell's.
Definitely, that's a good idea. I had the salt and sugar here too, but I forgot about it. But the salt definitely helps a lot. So it makes me think salty foods with IPAs would be good. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're going to be tasting the Bell's Two Hearted versus I can't even remember what we're tasting next. Oh, the Hot Job, Foothills Hot Job session. We're going to be tasting that this week, Thursday, at Grapes and Gallery. So we're open anytime from 3 to 9, so come in and try those out. Do you guys have anything else to say before we sign off? Jim, you're up.
Bell's Two Hearted. Delicious. Gold standard.
Gold standard. Cheers to that. Tony?
No, ditto. Can't go wrong. The Bell's, it's good.
Awesome. So I feel much better about my purchase of a lot of these so that we can sell them. So Bell's Two Hearted it is. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. I'll send you a message in a bit.